Hey everybody, it's Gauntlet X, and welcome back to another premiere draft of the original Lord of the Rings set, Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. This is a flashback draft to the full-sized 200 plus card set, rather than the current Hobbit set that's much smaller. It was a really cool format, lots of unique mechanics, the ring tempts you being the coolest and most unique. That's never shown up in another draft format since then. A lot of fun stuff to do in the set, so I'm excited to flash back to it. So without further ado, let's just get into our pack one, pick one. We've got a strong rare here. It's definitely a build around, but a powerful one. The War of the Last Alliance. It is a saga where on the first two turns, you grab a legendary creature from your deck, put it into your hand. Then on the third turn, you give your whole board double strike till end of turn. That's usually going to end the game for you. And it's going to have the ring tempt you. The ring tempting you, as you can see on this ring card, is going to let you keep leveling this thing up. You start at the very top where the ring bear is just legendary and hard to block, and then the second time it tempts you, it gets to that next level, the third time, the third, and so on and so on. So you can make your little creatures, like your 1/1 tokens and stuff, these really, really important cards, where they give you a lot of card selection, sneaking through for damage, drawing and discarding cards, and then eventually they become like must-kill threats. A 1/1 token that can't be blocked and makes your opponent lose another 3 every time it hits them, like pretty gnarly stuff. So big fan of cards that have the ring tempt you, and that's not really the best part about this card, it's just good in general. Pick number 2, Eomer of the Rittermark is an awesome legend. 5 mana, 5/4 haste, and whenever it attacks, if you control the greatest power creature on the board, you get a 1/1 human soldier. So we could turn 4, War of the Last Alliance, turn 5, cast an Eomer that we just tutored for. Pretty perfect combo there. Like it a lot, and I do like the Boros deck. It's like a red-white humans and tokens aggro thing in this set. Pick number 3. The Horses of the Bruinen is a very solid blue sorcery. Slow your opponent down a lot while having the ring tempt you and letting you scry. So I do like that spell. It doesn't really fit with either of our first couple picks though. It's for a more controlling deck, but it's very good at doing that, where there's really nothing that's even like good in a red-white deck. There's just like mediocre filler like Took Reaper. So I'm going to speculate on that Horses of the Bruinen in case we get cut off of our initial plan, and getting a second copy is kind of interesting. Maybe we do get cut off of that Boros plan, but if we want to stick to it, Rally at the Hornburg is one of the best commons in the set for the aggressive red strategies in general, but especially the red-white one, where you do have extra humans there and a little bit more care about those tokens. So that's a really good option too. But I'm going to take the uncommon as a sign here. Give double Horses of the Bruinen. Pick number 5. What are some good places for the Horses of the Bruinen to go? A blue-red spells deck would be like premier, but there's no good cards for blue-red spells in this pack. I guess Arwen's Gift would be okay there. Isolation at Orthanc would be okay there too. We are pretty big on blue, but Mordor Muster is also really great. And Horses would be really good in a blue-black deck. It's another more controlling one. So we could take the mustard here. I'm going to grab me some mustard. It's delicious. Pick number 6. Not a lovely pack. I mean, Errand Rider of Gondor is a great common. 3 mana, 3/2, draw a card if you control a legend. Even if you don't control a legend, you still draw a card, put a card back. And one thing to note about the ring tempting you. Once you have the ring tempt you and you have a ring bearer on that board, every ring bearer is a legendary creature. So that helps cards like Errand Rider of Gondor that care specifically about legends. Plus, obviously, we have the War of the Last Alliance that cares specifically about legends. So if we do play white, where we would be playing the Errand Rider of Gondor, we already want to draft legends anyway. So that's 2 different cards that get us to draft legends highly there. I think that could be fine. Pick 7, Glorious Gale is a great card, and I'm very happy with the blue of the double Horses of the Bruinen. Counter their creature spell and have the ring tempt you if it's a legend. Just a slightly better Essence Scatter, and Essence Scatter is already pretty good in draft. Don't mind it at all. Relentless Rohirrim is also good. This draft pod looks like it would have been perfectly fine if we just forced red-white aggro the whole time. We would have gotten reasonable picks for that deck too, but maybe we get to play something blue here. Pick number 8, Stalwarts of Osgiliath makes sense to me. The ring tempting stuff is okay, and we've got good controlling stuff early. Just get a big top end spell here for that blue-white deck if that's where we go. Ringsight's pretty filler because you have to have a creature on board for it to actually work. I mean, everything in this pack's pretty filler, but I'll grab Nimble Hobbit. What's cute about the Nimble Hobbit is that it's a really good ring bearer. Your Ring Bearer can't be blocked except by creatures with equal to or less power than it. So a high toughness, low power creature is really good at bearing the ring. Pick 10, nothing much. Enraged Horn's the best card here, but green is the worst color, and we're probably not playing it. Pick 11, there's a Haunt, I guess, if we go down the Mordor Muster path, but that doesn't look likely. Looks like maybe a blue-white deck here. The way this draft has gone, since we didn't really force our way into red, that's starting to get scooped up here. Okay, pack 2, pick 1. Saruman the White's pretty fun. If you cast 2 spells in a turn, you get a 2/2 Orc army every time. The Amass mechanic being great. There's also reasonable black spells, removal, like Isildur's Fateful Strike and Lash of the Balrog, but let's grab Saruman here. Pretty committed to doing a fun little blue deck of some kind here. Lorien Revealed's a very good one. Draw 3 is huge in this format. Smite the Deathless is also super good, but we really, I don't think, get to end up being the blue-red spells deck based on how the second half of the first pack went. We just weren't willing anything that would even matter for that deck. But we were seeing a little bit of white. I think we're going to be blue-white here. I mean, we're definitely blue, so we know we can play Lorien Revealed. There is another Rally at the Hornburg, which is cute in the blue-red spells deck because it's a way to play some creatures even when you're playing all instants and sorceries technically. But there's also Deceive the Messenger, which is another one of those kind of cards. It's an instant, but technically a creature. Get that Orc army out of nowhere, shut a thing off. This is really good at killing Ring Bearers and killing 1/1s in general because they like attack in with their Ring Bearer and it's like you block with your 1/1, shut it off. Well, I guess it's not good at killing Ring Bearers. I lied, I'm dumb. But it's really good at killing 1/1s and 1 toughness cards. I got super confused about how it worked. I thought it was like, for some reason I can make the 1/1 and then block and then reduce the power, but that's not, you do it at the same time. So you can't block. You can't lower the power of their Ring Bearer until you've already blocked it, because if you lower it preemptively, then the Ring Bearer just can't get blocked at all. So I guess sort of it's good at killing Ring Bearers if you already have a creature the same size as the Ring Bearer. But that's still not, that doesn't make much sense. I don't know what I'm saying. Here's an Arwen's Gift, which is good removal. Or sorry, a good card draw spell, or Banish, which is good removal. These are fine. I think I have a ton of removal. I'll grab Banish. If I remember right, Scroll of Isildur is pretty good. Gain control of an artifact as long as you control it, and the ring tempts you. So basically you just play it, the ring tempts you. Next turn, tap and stun 2 creatures, and then draw a card for each tapped creature. Yeah, tap and stun 2 things, and then draw 2 cards. That's really good. 3 mana draw 2 is already good in this set. Definitely take the scroll. Pick number 6. Well, when we're having the ring tempt us all the time, that's one of the ways to get Gwaihir to actually cost 4 mana instead of 6 mana. Because when we have a Ring Bearer, we can attack with it, draw a card, discard a card, and that'll be our second card drawn each turn if you look at the second ability of the ring there. So that's how you're kind of using these cards, and the rest of this pack looks bad in blue-white. Pick 7, Hithlane Knots is fine in the spell-heavy slower decks. We do need some amount of creatures here, and I don't think I have a lot. So maybe we could also just take the Eastmark Cavalier, but that card is so filler. Yeah, I would rather just take the Knots. Another Stalwarts. There's actually a Landroval as well, though, and we do have the card that wants us to have multiple legends in the deck, the War of the Last Alliance, so I'll take Landroval over that. Even though the mana curve looks kind of insane. Stalwarts is another 5-drop, though. Here's Arwen's Gift. Pick 10, Eagles of the North. Pick 11, Fog. Pick 12, another Arwen's Gift. Pick 13, another Arwen's Gift. We're going to be drawing cards like nobody's business. Alright, pack 3, pick 1, get an excellent on-color rare, Rangers of Ithilien. I don't even remember exactly what it does, but I remember it's good. 4 mana, 3/3 Vigilance. When it enters, gain control of up to 1 target creature with lesser power for as long as you control this creature, and the ring tempts you. Wow. Okay, so you steal one of their 2/2s or 1/1s or something, and you have a 3/3 Vigilance, and the ring tempts you. Beautiful card. Here's another legend to tutor for that happens to be a pretty good one. Eowyn, Lady of Rohan, gives you some good abilities at the beginning of combat each turn, setting up a creature with first strike or vigilance, whatever's more advantageous. Pack 3, pick 3, another Receive the Messenger's a fun one. I think I like that more than the Fog. Pick 4, ooh, Prince Imrahil the Fair. So when we're using our Ring Bearers to draw a card, discard a card, we're also getting 1/1s every time now. Perfect, I think that's a lot better than Gwai here for sure. The only thing on color that isn't completely filler is Council's Deliberation, and even then I don't know how much scrying we're doing in this deck. It's not really playable unless you scry consistently. Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might just be 5, 6. 6 ways to scry. Probably not insane for Council's Deliberation. I guess we could run it. Samwise is a nice cheap legend. It's also really, really cute with our rare War of the Last Alliance. We can tutor for Samwise, and then on chapter 3, when the war sacrifices itself, we can play Samwise and pick the war back up again to replay it later, because it picks up any permanent that was put into the graveyard this turn. Samwise looks really spicy for this deck, actually, with that combo in there too. Just an inherited envelope, but probably not using it. Pick number 8, another Stalwarts. I don't think I have room for more creatures that are going to cost that much, so I'll just put it in the side. It's a lot of Stalwarts if we want them. Really top off our curve. Isolation's okay. Fog. I think we want to cut a little bit of our more expensive stuff here, mainly. Don't really want to cut any legends, even though I don't love Gwai here. Just because the war. We do not have a super high creature count. We're on 11, but we also have double army. So it's like 13 creatures if you count these as 2 mana 1/1s. Which is still pretty low. We gotta cut like 4 cards here at least. And then we'd be running 16 lands. I want to cut creatures, because my least favorite cards are some of the creatures in this deck, but I do not want to end up running like a monumentally low creature count. I mean, we've got Lorien Revealed and triple Arwen's Gift for like big card draw, and Hithlane Knots and Council's Deliberation for little card draw. So that's another thing that we have a ton of. The Fogs are our weakest removal. We still have a counter, a banish, an isolation, double horses for tempo. Probably still want at least a Fog in here. These are the potential cuts here over to the right. Stalwarts as well. For being slow. Nimble Hobbit. It's our weakest 2-drop, but I kind of still want it. And I guess we can make these 1/1s Ring Bearers too, so those could be the early Ring Bearers. Okay, five cuts out of all this. That's plenty of options for sure. I'm gonna keep the 2 mana creature for a Ring Bearer. Drop the Captain. I don't want to go too low on creatures. I'll keep a Stalwarts in here too, and then we cut 4 of these. I am not cutting Lorien Revealed. We'll cut Fog and Arwen's Gift. Deliberation and Knots we'll just cut on that Scry strat. Call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, and let's see how far this one can take us. All right, here we are on the play for game number 1 with a completely defensive hand. We're just going to stare at our opponent, see what they do. If they do stuff slow enough, try to take over the late game with some strong spells. Well, there you go. Now we're the offensive. How are they going to survive a 20-turn clock of 1 damage a turn? Let's go, Nimble Hobbits. Pelargir Survivor from our opponent, which is actually really good at blocking Ring Bearers. The Fog does not shut off abilities, unfortunately. So it's really bad to cast Fog on this Survivor. And that's part of what's just really bad about Fog in general and makes it our weakest removal spell. The creature can still sit there and use all its abilities if it has them. Torment of Golem. Thoughtseize is always annoying. Probably kills our Horses of the Bruinen. One of the strongest things about the horses is that it can kill an army and bounce another creature. And they're obviously getting an army by casting the Torment, so I think the right choice is just hitting the horses here, even if I don't have double blue yet. And they do hit the Horses of Bruinen. Find Eowyn. It's a good draw, because I was certainly not casting removal yet still. They crack their Wizard's Rockets to draw a card. Play an Easterling Vanguard. Lembus. Scry to the top, draw a card. Pass through. There's Glorious Gale after they played their Duders. We are sitting here. Can't even attack in with First Strike because they just block with a 1/3. Unless I tap out of my Glorious Gale, tapping somebody with Nimble Hobbit, but that's also bad. Because what I attack, tap a thing with Nimble Hobbit, tapping the 1/3, but then Nimble Hobbit dies to the other creatures. Just to get Eowyn in. Hey, very good Glorious Gale. Make Nimble Hobbit the Ring Bearer, even though it can still be blocked by Survivor for now. It's a better Ring Bearer than Eowyn, and we can keep moving it around. Okay. Even if it keeps getting blocked by Survivor, it is going to let us draw a card, discard a card every turn. Trigger the Stalwarts and dig through our deck, find some spells. Yeah, this started going really well once we got that Glorious Gale off, but we'll have to see what else they have. Another Torment of Golem's fine. It's just 2 removal spells in her hand. I don't think it matters too much what they choose, but Banish is the better spell. Yep. But we can still just fog their army since it doesn't have any abilities. Yep, send in the army. It's their last chance to do so. Down to 16. Shire's Scarecrow. Well, there's their blocker. Harwin's Gift for 3, let's go. Since we've got more than 2 legends out, War and Errand Rider of Gondor are both very good draws. It's unfortunate we can't afford either of them yet. Vigilance, a boop. No reason to send the Nimble Hobbit in, it just gets blocked by Scarecrow. I mean, unless I really want to draw and discard since I didn't give it Vigilance. It will be 1 less blocker, but that's okay. I don't need to draw and discard another card right now. Our hand is pretty loaded. That's not suspicious at all. I think with a War of the Last Alliance, I don't really care if they trick into killing Stalwarts. I guess it matters if it's Deceive the Messenger specifically. Something that kills the Stalwarts without us killing the army, that would be rough. But I mean, even then, we can definitely recover and still flip the game with War of the Last Alliance. Ooh. Dreadful as the Storm. That's also pretty bad. There's our own Deceive the Messenger. I think I have enough breathing room to cast this now and get working on it. Grab Prince Imrahil now and then Samwise next turn. I don't want to hit a land here and just discard this fog at this point. Saruman. You're so much mana, my friend. You're so much mana. I don't want to ditch him, but I kind of think I do. When the hand is too loaded. Shuffle the Lemus back. Did nobody else draft Torment of Golem in their pod? That's frustrating. Goodbye, Prince Imrahil. The fog. I guess they're just keeping the army as their plan. Sure. Take a Samwise. Cool. Got the extra land now too. Alright, we just chump block their army with a 1-1 every single turn. We're going to get a new 1-1 every turn off of Prince Imrahil. The ring's going to be at level 4. So we'll start killing everything that ever blocks the ring bearer. Start making them lose another 3. Double striking ring bearer is also really painful, which is pretty sick. Oh, Horses of the Brunnen is an incredible draw. Bounce their army and somebody else and move the ring bearer around if we need to. Take the 6, they say. I I'm just gonna cast this. This is just gnarly. Just absolutely gnarly. Don't recast the troll. They keep their instant up here. At 16 life, I think I kind of want to just see how bad it's going to be for me. Flunging the team. Tricks are for blockers. Oh boy. Some juice. What is it gonna be, like a board wipe? I'm just gonna wait on this Rangers. Just on the off chance it's like a board wipe or something somehow. Mill me down to 8 cards left. But lethal on board. Okay, we take those. Start things off 1-0, heading into game 2. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 2. I should probably mulligan with 2 white spells in the opener. But I really like Glorious Gale, and I really like Horses of the Bruinen. Playing against a green deck with turn 1 Mirkwood Spider. Death touching in, and we draw a white spell as the first draw of the game. Take 1. Counter the other spider. I don't want to counter a spider. Fine. Oh, white source never didn't have it. Come on out, Eowyn. I was fine the whole time. And Eowyn can even first strike attack to not care at all about their death touch. And I guess we care on blocks, but I mean, they're 1/1s. So, what you gonna do? Go to 17? That's what I'm gonna do. Inherited Envelope, make one of them a ring bearer. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 1 or less. So, kinda can't be blocked here. Vigilance. Boop. Glorious Gale plus Samwise. We could trade into a Spider and Samwise the Eowyn back. That's perfectly fine by me. Just get some Samwise value, play it out mana efficiently, get some good tempo, ready to horses next turn. I guess if I counter whatever creature they're going to cast, it's not like we're going to do anything crazy with Horses of the Bruinen. Land for turn, pass. All right, Samwise. Got exactly the mana to recast this Eowyn and still have Glorious Gale up. I could also play Errand Rider of Gondor, but I'm not really suffering from a lack of things to do in my hand right now. So I don't need the card draw immediately. Down to 15. Fog. We still keep our ability, so I don't actually get hurt by that too much, which is great. Ooh, Saruman? I could even return my own Eowyn to hand here, which would also get my ring to where I'm drawing a card, discarding a card every turn, which is fun, but I think I'm just going to keep holding up Gale. Deceive the Messenger is very rude against the Spider. In theory, I guess because it's a ring bearer, we don't have a 1-power creature to block it with yet. I could deceive my own creature so that we just trade a 1/1 army into a 1/1 Mirkwood Spider. That's actually still a pretty good deal from Deceive the Messenger. I'll just take the 1. They're not drawing and discarding a card every turn yet, and if I do go ahead and trade into the Spider with Deceive, then I'm not holding up my counterspell, and they just got a 3rd color of mana, so the odds of them randomly having like a new creature is there. I mean, I guess they have the envelope. What is their hand? What is their hand? Actually, I'm getting genuinely confused now. The things that were lining up in my head are not in fact lining up with what's happening here. Which is that, like, maybe they're stuck off a color or something? Oh, play a bow to untap their creature, buff it up. Cool. Put it on the 3/2. That would be awesome. Dang. I will still save Samwise. Horses is starting to look more appealing, even though they don't have another creature to bounce. Alright, that's good enough. I'll Gale that. Now our Ring Bearer is a 1/1 against a 2-power creature, which means they can't block it. Ooh, we've got the creatures for Arwen's Gift. I want to have the ring keep tempting me, though. I want to get towards level 4 of the ring. Sure, I'll ditch the land. They take all the damage, go to 7. Woe's Pathfinder, little mana dork. Very late in the game for that. Looks like they just drew lands and all their small creatures. Rough draws for our opponent. Horses should be lethal. Probably. There's the concession from our opponent. That's 2-0 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are for game number 3. A very nice opening hand. We get to run out our Rangers of Athelion in a game where we might actually need to use them for some value. Playing against a black-white deck. Claim the Precious, do it. Kill a 1/3, that doesn't matter. Oh. Denethor. That's a sketchy card to see. But Rangers of Athelion is also really good against it because it's a creature with less than 3 power and a bunch of great abilities. So I do not mind that. Morgul, Knife Wound. -3, -0, with being exile it unless you pay 2 life. Exile it? Exile it, not destroy. Dang. Tragic. Okay, when I play Rangers, the ring tempts me again, so I'm going to play Samwise just for the ring to tempt me. So I can draw a card and discard a card next turn. And I'll put it on an army, sure. Okay. Now an army drawing and discarding a card every turn. Boom. Discard another land. Still got the 5th mana for horses next turn. -1/-1 to all my things. Tragic. There goes my 1/1 and 2/1. Then a Golem. This Golem can block, which is annoying. It's the Denethor do. Sack a creature, your opponent drains 1. If a creature died on your control this turn, create a 1/1. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we're actually just gonna AoE then. First strike. Oop. You're down to 12. Lembas, scry 1 and draw a card. Scry 2, draw 2. Still don't want a Horses of the Bruin and just a single Golem. Especially the way our stats line up. I'll fog it though, I guess. Gives us first strike just in case some weird instant speed enchantment removal happens. They are down to 5. They've got Lembas to gain some life though. Put them back up to 8. Hit for 7. We can try to lethal them with Denethor's ability, I guess. If this goes wrong, we still get a 1-1, so we'll try it. Okay. Simple game, and we're 3-0 heading into game 4. Alright, here we are for game 4. Very slow hand here, a couple 5-drops in the opener, but it's got both our colors, so anything we draw into is castable. If we draw anything that has the ring tempt us, we start drawing and discarding a card every turn too. I think with a hand this slow, I'm supposed to just cash in on Samwise as a ring bearer and start poking them with them. Deceive the Messenger is actually really rude against the Westfold Rider. That was a very good draw. Yeah, so far our hand's lining up incredibly. Obviously, you know, 2-power creature against the 3-power thing. The perfect ring bearer size. I'm perfectly happy getting them to cast an entire removal spell on a 1-1. That works too. Either way, we got some value there. Alright, well, the hand lasted us easily till 5 mana. That early game went pretty well for us, but now they've got some 1-1 flyers, which is pretty threatening. Ooh, a Glorious Gale is going to be nice when I can afford to hold that up, but I'm not going to hold it up over playing a 5-mana creature. This is Saruman. Lash of the Balrog to blow up our stalwarts, hit us for 5. Nope, keep the 1-1s back. Yeah, I guess to hold back the ring bearer here. But that's what first strike is for, and that curves perfectly with the Glorious Gale. Very happy with that draw. Lorien revealed Saruman or Landroval. I don't think I'm double spelling all that much. I'm going to discard the Saruman here. I could see flying being relevant depending on how much damage they get on us. Being able to hold these 1-1s back could be a big deal. Wizard's Rockets. They can have perfect mana for anything when they sack that. And they just passed the turn. Horses of the Bruin is really gross against these flyers too. I don't really have the mana to do anything if I want to hold up Glorious Gale, and they just played a Wizard's Rockets, which makes me scared and want to hold up Glorious Gale. So let's just see what we draw off before we do anything. Hopefully it's something playable. It's a land. Yeah, I mean, I think I just discard it and pass. Is that crazy? To just hold up a counter here when I have really powerful plays? I don't think so. If the board state remains as it is, we just win. Order muster. Draw a card, get a 1-1. Crack the rockets. Draw a card, get a blue. What is the blue for? Nothing. And I guess I should have just cast something. 1 damage, down to 13. It's an isolation. Okay, that makes it a lot easier to hold up the counterspell. Now I don't look crazy if I don't do it. I just cast isolation in there and stuff. Hobbit Sting. Alright. Goodbye, Samwise. Landroval. Shadow summoning for a couple tapped flyers. War of the Last Alliance is cool. I go boop boop. Really think I need a Gwahir here. Vigilance my flyer. Flying my non-flyer. Discard Lorien revealed. They're down to 4. Haunt of the Dead Marshes. Get a 1/1 and scry 1. Play their land for turn. Pass the turn. No way for the ring to tempt me here. Okay. Can shut off 1 blocker. They still go to 2 and live. I don't think there's a purpose to shutting off a blocker then. That's worth the mana. Because it's just trumps anyway. Put them to 2. If they play a good creature, we counter it. If they pass, we get rid of their only flying blocker. One of several different options. Okay, there's the concession from our opponent. We're 4-0 with this deck, heading into game number 5. All right, here we are on the play for game number 5 with an unkeepable hand. Go to 6, go to 5, and here's our 5 card. And for this game, I think I have to keep Lorien revealed over Horses of the Bruinen because of the flexibility where if I do get mana screwed, I just island cycle it. But if I don't, then it's still a powerful late game play. Uh-oh. Please don't make me island cycle this. Please. I'm gonna counter that. Blue-red deck, that's a really good card for there. I'm gonna have to island cycle it. You hate to see it. That is not the time to cast that. It'll be 3 mana, the ring tempts you, and that's it. 0 card draw. Gandalf. Guess I can isolation during their turn. Because it's when they choose creatures other than Gandalf as the ring bearer that they draw a card. So they can't draw a card just with Gandalf on the board by himself. Even if they flash in a sorcery. Limbus. Scry to the top, draw a card. They're gonna pass. Isolation the Gandalf here. I don't think Gandalf's a good scroll target. Because Gandalf just has a really dangerous ability if he sticks around for potential card draw. Crack the Limbus right now so that they don't end up shuffling Gandalf away. Horses of the Bruinen is the draw, pass turn. I think our matchup against blue-red in general is probably just really bad because they're such a creature-light deck. All right, well, the scroll looks incredible now at least. Let me scroll that envelope over here. They'll probably just respond by tapping it, but maybe not. No. No Nimble Hobbit this turn. But now we've got an envelope for a couple turns. Okay. Can Samwise back the scroll? Relentless Rohirrim, which will draw them a card off of Gandalf's ability. Dang. And then they don't have to tap any creatures, so we don't get to draw any cards off of our scroll either. We just got a tiny little mana out of the envelope. Maybe I got overexcited and it wasn't even worth it, but they were stuck on 4 lands, so we might have slowed them down too. I don't know. Just cast Horses of the Bruinen this turn. I do need another mana to do that. What if I have full control mode, actually? Because this gets sacked at the beginning of my main phase, so I can get the mana in my main phase. I go to draw. I go to the main, because if I get the mana now and then I change steps to the main phase, then the mana just goes away. But if I try to get it in the main phase, while that ability's on stack, but before this gets sacrificed, then I can actually use this mana on my 5 mana card. Perfect. I like that card, but I don't have 5 mana. I'm gonna ditch that. Start putting in work ring bearing now. This does mean no Samwise back on the scroll, but that's okay. This is not the matchup for either of us with our scrolls. Stalwarts of Osgiliath and have the ring tempt them. Play Errand Rider of Gondor. Draw a card. Banish from Adoris is a good one. Ditch the land. Draw a card, discard a card, get their counter on it. Banish it. I can't kill it by blocking. I guess I could deceive the messenger on my nimble hobbit and then block it with a 3/2 and a 1/1. But if I deceive the messenger on it, I can't block it with errand rider and a 1/1. I could like block and then deceive, and then it's only blocked by a 3/2. Or I could deceive and then block, but if I deceive and then block, it has 2 power and I can't block with the 3 power creature. I could Samwise and deceive. The deceive is making it a 1/4. Sorry, a 2/4. So I have to block with a 3/2 and a 1/1, which would mean that I have to deceive the hobbit and let my things die. But then picking up an errand rider from grave is good, so I think that's okay. I guess if they respond with removal of their own, it's really bad. Just like the removal spell on the hobbit here. I guess not like really bad, but it is tragic. Because then I just Samwise back the hobbit instead, unless it's an exile spell or a bounce. Brutal. They have the exile spell specifically. Alright. So much for that. I think I like drawing cards enough to still just trump here. I feel very, very, very unfavored here because they have a Gandalf card draw engine just lying in wait still, already with the massive amounts of card advantage. I mean, they can technically flash in a 2/4 and block here, but our ring is level 3, so if they do that, we kill the Gandalf anyway. Yeah. Yeah, the ring's level 3, so Gandalf's dead. I'm very happy with that, because now we just killed their card draw engine. Not 100% sure if they knew our ring was level 3 or not, but I will take that either way. Because I don't think we were going to be able to get through them drawing extra cards off every tempt. Because they already had at least one more with Rohirrim. So that was just a really good trade for us. A second Scroll of Isildur. At least we have one creature this time, I guess. So that'll be good for them. If I cast a creature, they're just going to have 2 stunned cards and draw 2 cards. So we just pass through. Unfortunately, their ring is level 4. We start taking the extra 3 damage every turn. Relentless Rohirrim. Prince Imrahil, but we have no way to tempt the ring, so we have no way to draw any extra cards yet. So we play one of the 5 mana cards. Oh, I could do Saruman and the Prince. Boom, boom. Get 3 creatures. Fog the Saruman. His ability still sticks around, which is kind of chilling. They can get rid of Prince Imrahil's ability here, but we don't have any ring bearers right now anyway. So let's kill the, actually kill the 3/3. It only costs us 1 creature to do so. But we go to 3 life instead of 4. Rohirrim Lancer for a Menacer that moves the ring around. Rangers of Athelion. Hello there. Get it to where they technically don't have any ring bearer now. Kind of huge. Yeah, because we're just dead to the ring bearer if we don't. We are dead to removal. I guess not quite. There's their own Prince Imrahil. Send in the Lancer so that they can get a ring bearer. They don't have a 1/1 to turn into a ring bearer, which is why we're not quite dead. Because we can actually block their ring bearer. Okay. Send in our ring bearer. Land is an awkward one. Probably should hold the extra land for more drawn discard. We are dead to removal actually still, because they could kill our only creature small enough to block. Our only other option to not be dead to removal would be to not send in the ring bearer, which also seems bad. It's like rocking a hard place. There's no good options. I assume we're not dead because they haven't cast anything yet. Okay, we are dead. They're just thinking. Okay. Rough one. Closer than it looked. It was very lopsided for a long time, but actually I think being able to clear out that Gandalf there and then find the Rangers, we were starting to get some action there. If they missed on that removal spell for a few turns, it wouldn't have taken that long to actually kill them at 14. So you've got the much bigger board now. Yeah. Closer than it looked, but still definitely our opponent was pretty favored the whole time. Well played from opponent. 4-1 heading into game number 6. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 6. We are 4-1 right now. Gotta deceive the messenger at the ready. If they play the rally, go mountain and rally, that'll be an awesome turn for us. Counteracted and even the board. Dang it. I saw the mountain and I got really excited. I was like, that's exactly what we want to see. Just the 2-mana 2/2 Vigilance is how they're starting out. We'll just soak up all the damage that we can from a Boros deck. I think if we just stop as much damage as possible, we can probably win the late game, especially when we've got a War of the Last Alliance in our hand. I'm very surprised they choose to spend a whole removal spell on our token, but I'm also very happy. We'll take that. Here's a 2/4 to hold off the 2/2 unless they play more removal. And it also gives us a legend on board before we cast our Errand Rider of Gondor. Relentless Rohirrim, pretty good, but the 2/4 is really good at blocking ring bearers. So they still don't have attacks. Board is stable enough to just cast the War here instead of like fogging Rohirrim. But I'm not really in much of a race. I don't need to get my War value immediately. We can do that and the next turn play Errand Rider, draw a card, and hold up Glorious Gale. I mean, it was a tempting turn to just hold up Glorious Gale in general, but I think with multiple 3 drops, we definitely wanted to wait till 5. Hold up a 3 and a 2, but there is a... Oh. There's like the 5 mana 5/4 that spits out a 1/1 every turn that I would really wanted to counter, and I guess countering Shadowfax also could have gone pretty well, but looks like it's just a 4/4 haste. Nothing else is getting spit out. So that didn't go that poorly. Errand Rider. We can double block Shadowfax, lose one of the 2 creatures, that's okay. We just need to live a little bit here, just live till we're running out the War of the Last Alliance, and we'll win the game. If they don't play a really strong card of their own. Rosy Cotton of South Lane. +1/+1 counters. I'm just gonna Gale while I have it up. Not that that's like super scary. But it is a legend, so we do get the value of the ring. Cool. Improvised Club on Eowyn to get the Shadowfax in, okay. That gets the Shire Sheriff in too, actually, because the Errand Rider has too much power to block it. This could actually be super, super bad for me. The 2/2 Ring Bearer actually very relevant against the 3-power creature. And the Samwise to pick up the card they just sacked? Wow, what a turn. That was a really poorly timed Glorious Gale, I guess. They just had all of the action alongside it. That was super unexpected. Jeez, the 0 mana Samwise off of Shadowfax. Brutal stuff. Yeah, we're looking pretty dead. I don't know what else to say about it. I can't spend the turn taking more of the Last Alliance off here. I've got to affect the board, so we got to shut off this Shadowfax here before they declare the attack, but they're still going to play Relentless Rohirrim. Draw a card, discard a card. I guess I don't have to kill Shadowfax before they declare the attack unless they top deck the 3-power or less creature, which would be pretty lucky because then they could play Rohirrim and spit out another creature off of Shadowfax. The problem with isolationing before the attack trigger is isolationing before they draw a card, discard a card. It means they're going to cast Shadowfax much faster. Because if I put it second from the top and then they draw a card, discard a card, it means they're going to draw it, cast it, hit me with it next turn. So I wait till they draw the card, discard a card, and then I isolation. I guess the way these triggers stack, I can't really get got by Shadowfax's ability. Oh wait, no, I can. Because even if it's not on the board, it still would spit out a 3-power creature, whatever. Down to 6. And just draw land. Okay. Prince Imrahil to block the 1/1s. Oof. Next turn I can draw a big enough one that could block stuff without dying. Maybe I'm actually just trading Prince Imrahil into the Shire Sheriff. They kept something instead of Rohirrim, and they're going to have a 4/4 haster next turn. I am not sure how we get out of this. Oh, discard a card, draw 2, get a 1/1. Shoot. Draw a card, discard a card again. Samwise. Don't love not getting the Samwise trigger, but I need all the creatures I can get. That was maybe one of the better draws in the deck. Probably one of the better draws in the deck. Put a 4/4 on their 4/4. Trade into a 1/1. Block another 1/1 with a 2/2. And pray that we win this top deck war and they just start flooding out. They've only hit 5 lands. So they could. There is a chance. Looks like it's not happening, though. It is all action. Build a pony it is, which can swap its power and toughness by sacking a food. So it's basically another 4/4 that they can spit out for free off of Shadowfax. That is disgusting. Which means I lose my whole board and go to 1. Yep. Very good draw. That is certainly not Flood. Go to 1. We hit Stalwarts, which is 1 blocker against 3 1/1s. That is game 4 and 2 it is, heading into game number 7. All right, here we are now for game 7. We are 4 and 2 right now, so 1 more loss and we're out of here. But we might be able to keep it going, get a rally towards the 7-win run. We started this draft off excellently, and I think the deck is pretty good. Silent Cycler Lorien revealed, and see where things go from there. Run up Prince Imrahil. We cannot start casting these R1 gifts without at least 2 legends on the board, so probably not going to trigger for a long time. We are against Blue-Red, which is probably my favorite deck in the set. It's a really, really fun, really powerful like Spellslinger strategy. What does Gloin do in this set? Whenever you cast a historic spell, get a treasure token. You can sack treasures to goad things. Interesting. Alright, well, Scroll of Isler's not a bad draw. Prince Imrahil as the ring bearer now. I kind of forgot that it even has the ring tempt you. So that we could sneak past the 3-power creature. Alright, sure, they bounce the prince. Draw a card, discard a card. Stun the Gloin, we'll draw a card off the Gloin. What's Arwen's gift here? I'll draw both of these. I can still use lands at this point. Eomer is a really strong card, but if they attack with it, I draw 2, so they did not want to attack with it. Cool. Rangers with Thillian's the draw now. If I Horses the Bruinen, they just recast Eomer and hit me for 5. Not lovely. I could just banish Eomer before they even get a creature out of it. That'd be fine. I could also play Prince and banish Eomer and let them get a single 1/1, which is fine too. Let's do that. I think that's still, you know, getting rid of enough of their power toughness, and it's better to start setting up my own board at the same time here. Relentless Rohirrim. Level 3 Ring Bearer on Gloin. What can I cast? Banish. Oh, Banish is a sorcery? Ew. Ew. How did I forget that? That's actually so bad. Not a super good card, then. Guess I can fiddle with that and trade into Gloin here. I'm under a lot of pressure, and I have a lot of card draw in this hand, so I don't mind losing a little bit of value, like losing the Prince, to start messing with their board for real here. Yeah, I should have just hardcast Banish without playing anything else. I did not realize that card is a sorcery. It's been too long. That is not a great card. Go to 10. They play a land, play an Oliphant. Oh boy. That's a big boy. If I bounce the Ring Bearer, this is now a level 4 and they start hitting me for 4. We are in a painful, painful spot, however I play it here. Yeah, I think I have to bounce the Ring Tempter. And they're going to have a level 4 Ring Bearer next turn. Might be a 4-3 draft here. Some great stuff from the blue-red deck on this one. Doesn't help that I forgot some of the cards. Definitely have had a few misplays today. But 4 and 3 is not a bad start to the return trip. I'm sure it'll only go up from here, right? Oh, wow. Bilbo was a really, really sick one. And when it enters and leaves, the ring tempts you. And Bilbo's a really good ring bearer because that 1-3 stat line is always great. We're not getting out of this at 6 life even with the Rangers of Ithilien. We can take their only ring bearer. And then I have to deal with a 4-3 and a 1-3. But when I deal with the 1-3, they get a new ring bearer. Yeah. But our odds of winning are super low, and I got some other stuff I got to get to, so I'm fine to call it there for today at 4 and 3 for our first draft of the return trip to the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. Sweet set, very fun one. I thought this deck was pretty cool. Always rough to get an undefeated run into all of your losses in one chunk like that, but this was a sick deck, aided by 2 very strong rares, Rangers of Ithilien and War of the Last Alliance. But also just a lot of fun stuff going on with all of the ring bearing, trying to trigger cards like Prince Imrahil. Yeah, just decent, fun, synergistic stuff in general. Love the Horses of the Bruinen that got me over to blue there. We could have had a really sweet red-white deck as well. This draft pod was pretty good for either direction. But yeah, not a bad showing here. I think a lot of the worst kind of record here was some human error for sure, and even then 4-3 isn't even like a worse record. We're kind of breaking even on gyms. We're winning more games than we're losing. Not a bad way at all to start off the return trip to the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in the recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.